Your mind and your mindset is key for success. I'm sure you guys have heard this 1,000 different times, but how do we actually implement things to help us grow? How do we actually implement things so that we can progress in whatever field we're doing, whether we're in the studio dancing or out of the studio doing something else? So here are 5 tips to help you start to do that will help you succeed no matter what you do. First and foremost, embrace challenges. I think a lot of us view the hard role, the audition, whatever demon is in front of us or the mountain to climb in front of us as a bad thing, or I don't know if I can do it. Reframe it. Start embracing it as a challenge to overcome, an opportunity to learn something, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to improve your skill set. Because even if it doesn't go well, you can turn it around and say, well, what did I learn? Well, what can I do better next time? Well, how can I approach this differently in the future? That's how you grow. We don't grow from being perfect all the time. You don't learn anything by having it be picture ballerina perfect. You learn by making mistakes. You learn by your failures. So start viewing things that way, particularly auditions. I see dancers get so scared for auditions. Just reframe it. All you have to do is reframe it in your brain. And I'm not talking about sitting there going, I love auditioning. Auditioning is easy. Or I love doing 32 fouettes. It's so easy. For some of you, those are, not for me. But if you just simply reframe this as, okay, I'm gonna come out of this having learned something. I'm gonna come out of this having a new skill. I'm gonna come out of this stronger than I was before, more confident than I was before. If you simply flip the switch in your brain to start embracing the challenge in front of you instead of avoiding it, it's automatically gonna be easier. Your mind loves problem solving. Your mind loves to keep growing. So view any and all challenges in front of you as an opportunity to grow, and no matter what happens, you're going to come out of it better than you were before. Okay, the second thing, embrace criticism. Dancers, I'm sure you've heard this before, corrections are a good thing, right? Just like we said before, nobody's perfect and you don't learn from perfectionism. You learn from failures. You learn from doing things wrong and fixing them. When a teacher gives you a correction, when a teacher gives you something to work on, that's for your benefit. That's to help you. That's to help you grow, to make your performance better. It's not a personal attack. It is not criticism, to bring you down. Now, obviously, teachers, we have to deliver criticism in a certain way. That's a whole nother video. But dancers and people, anybody watching this, view this again as an opportunity to learn. If you just flip the switch in your brain from negative, this is bad, to how can I use this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Why are they attacking me? Flip it. How can this help me? How is this working for me? How can I use what this teacher says to make my dancing better? And dancers, if you're hearing the same correction over and over and over again, use this as a blueprint. So many dancers go to their teacher and say, what do I need to work on? What do you think I need to work on? Start really listening. Are you getting the same correction, maybe even in different ways, over and over and over again? Start there. Don't view it as an attack. Don't view it as, oh, my teacher hates me. They don't. They really just want to help you. And if you can simply start taking corrections and criticism as a good thing and literally flipping your brain to, how can this work for me? Not why is this happening to me? Your entire life is going to change. Number 3, and this really applies to whatever profession you go into, cultivate a love of learning. The best people in their field, the top people in the world in whatever field it is, are still constantly learning. They view themselves as a student. They never get to the point where it's like, yeah, I'm good, I know everything. That doesn't keep you growing. That doesn't keep you pushing. That doesn't keep you expanding your limits. If you view class as, well, I know all the steps, well, I know everything, that's it. You can't get any higher. So if you view yourself as constantly learning and learn to love that and embrace it, you're going to be incredible. The best dancers in the world love feedback. Marianela Nunez still gets coached. And if you watch her, especially if there's ever a ballet live, if you watch the top dancers in the world in rehearsal, they are so receptive to corrections. They want to make it better. She wants to make it better every single time. She's not going, yeah, I don't need to hear that. She's constantly learning. She's still a student. The best people in their field are still students. So again, it's a brain shift. Instead of taking it personally, instead of taking it as an attack, learn to love that process. Learn to love correction and growing and learning. because then you're just going to keep expanding, and it's going to just help you in so many different ways. Okay, the fourth one is something you've probably heard many times also. It's not just the destination, but it's also how you get there. It's the journey, not the destination. So true. Learn to love the process and not just focus on the outcome. Learn to love the rehearsal process. Learn to love working in the studio. Learn to love putting in the effort in whatever career you have. That's what builds confidence. That's what builds perseverance. And that's going to serve you in other areas as well, not just in dance, not just in your career. Learn to embrace the whole process. Because if you do that, then the end result is going to be that much sweeter. But also, oftentimes that end result, we kind of get there and we go, now what? So if you've enjoyed it the whole time, it makes it even better. I see so many students focus on the show, and they forget to love the whole rehearsal process. The show is 10% of the time. As a dancer, if you want to do this as a career, you wear the tiara 10% of the time. The rest of the time is body maintenance and class and rehearsal and stage rehearsal and costume fittings, all the other things, the cross training. The being on stage in the spotlight is 10%, not even. So in order to really be fulfilled and have a good mindset and keep yourself pushing and keep yourself growing, you need to learn to love the entire process, not just the result. So really start viewing rehearsals just as important as the performance. Start viewing class just as important as the performance. Find the things in class you love. Find the things in rehearsal you love. And again, it's just a simple little reframe that then once you get to the performance, not only are you going to enjoy it more, but also there's not as much pressure on it. Because if you hate it all the way up till the show and the show doesn't go well, how is that going to help you, right? So enjoy the whole process, and that mentally sets you up for a better destination, but also keeps you more fulfilled when you get there. Tip number 5, and this might be the most important one, is the language you use. Replace I can't with I can learn, or I can't with I can't do this yet. The word yet can reframe so many things in your brain. I can't do this pirouette. I can't do this pirouette yet. Do you see how there's hope? Do you see how there's a destination? Do you see how there's something to work towards? And it is one simple word can completely change your entire brain. I can't do this. I can learn how to do that. It is taking the negative and flipping it into the positive in a way that makes sense to you. Because you guys, oftentimes one of the things that in the self-help world doesn't work as well as you want it to are affirmations. I can do a pirouette, I can do a pirouette, I can do 4 pirouettes, I can do 5 pirouettes. But do you actually believe that? Does that actually stick with your brain? Because the way affirmations have to work is you have to believe them. It's kind of like, I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire. Does your brain believe it? You can get there, it's possible, people have. But the only way you get there is if you believe you can. So what's more believable? I can do 5 pirouettes and then try and convince yourself, or I can't do 5 pirouettes yet. Do you see? The word yet is going to change your life. Oh, I can't do that solo. I can't do that solo yet. I can't do petit allegro. I can learn to do petit allegro. That's something your brain can get behind. Instead of trying to convince yourself right now that you can do 5 pirouettes when you can't yet. It has to be in baby steps. There has to be a ladder of believability. So start reframing the language in your brain with yet instead of I can't, I can learn. Those 2 phrases are going to change your entire dancing. Try it. I'm telling you. Be in class. I can't do that. Can't do that yet. Or I can learn, whichever one resonates with you, and see what happens. So I hope this helped you, because you guys, dancing, and I've said this before, dancing is 90% mental. It's very physical, but you also have to have the right mindset. You have to be in the right frame of mind to succeed. No matter how well rehearsed you are, no matter how fit and in shape your body is, no matter how many classes you've taken, if you're in the wrong frame of mind, it's not going to go well. So start with these 5 steps and see what happens. Remember, again, it's a process. It's the ladder of believability. It's embracing the criticism. It's embracing the journey. It's the little tweaks from negative to positive in your brain that are going to literally make all the difference. Let me know if this works for you in the comments below. And if you have any other mindset tips, leave them down there. If you missed my latest deconstruction, it's right there. You can click it to watch. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.